Standing up, as always in that Pilates posture, feet are lined up in parallel. If it's more comfortable, hip distance is fine. Abs are zipped in, tailbone is long, ribs are pulled down, shoulders are broad across the front where chest is open and across the back. Head in line with your spine. Deep breath in, squeeze those shoulders up, leave them up there, and give me a couple massages, right? So you're gonna keep that chin tucked a little bit, let your head rock side to side. And then squeeze them up, pull them back, and drop them down. Add that in, let the elbows go and the ribs, yeah. And then big arms, let the whole body start to move into it. And then we're gonna step out and we're gonna come down, we're gonna roll into a cat and open into a cow. We're gonna lift up, we're gonna do that big circle again, come down, bend the knees, roll cat. Inhale, cow, lift it up, big circle one more time. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, big circle. Give me a curtsy to one side and a curtsy to the other. And we're gonna alternate to start with. 4 more like this. Last 2. And last 1. Now step to the right, give me a curtsy and another one. And then I'm going off screen, bye-bye. And then come the other way. So we're gonna go 4, 3, hopefully, 2, and 1. Other way, we go 4, 3, whatever you want with your arms, 2, and 1, other way. Good, and last time, each way. So back the other way. Good. And maybe that brought you to the back of the mat, and that's where you're gonna stand. You're gonna go into that wide stance, and we're gonna go into that cat-cow again. Then around through cat, inhale through cow. We're staying in cat-cow this time. Beautiful. Stay in that cow position. Tailbone is up, shoulders are squeezed together, shoulders out of your ears. Drop your back shoulder in, look up over your front shoulder, and then reverse that for me, please. And then come on back to center, really extend through that spine, but then pull those abs and those ribs in. Bring your hands down. We're gonna walk it out. We're going to leave the legs wide, but we're going to bring the arms directly underneath our shoulders. Bend the elbows backwards and press straight for a push-up. Do that 2 more times. You don't have to move much. And then hinge back. Pause for a moment and down or in a forward hang. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs. Give me a cat. Give me a cow. And then hands to the heart. Shift your weight into your hips and your heels, bring it up. Big deep breath in. We're gonna roll those shoulders a couple times again. Nice. Come over, cat, cow, come up, roll those shoulders. And then we go 1 more time, cat, cow, stay down, legs wide, walk it out. Hands slide right underneath your shoulders. Give me 2 push-ups. Hinge it back, walk it back. Hang for a moment, bend the knees, hands on your thighs, cat, cow, arms up, big circle, back over again, cat, cow, walk it out, hands come right underneath your shoulders, just 1 push-up. Good, press it back, walk it back, give me a cat. Give me a cow. Hands up, big circle. Bend those knees. Give me a cat. Give me a cow. Walk it out. Hold your plank. Walk your feet together. Roll your shoulders out of your ears. Pull your abs in, high plank. Press back on your heels and forward. Just a couple times, a little bit of mobility here. Keep the abs in and the tailbone under. Last 2 and last 1. Bring those knees down. Sit back, shell stretch. Good. So resting back, And then as you come forward, we'll do some cat-cows here on the ground. Again, still warming up that spine. Very nice. And then we're just going to go ahead and roll over to a seated position. Grab the backs of the legs, pull your abs in, and mosey your way down to a lying down position. Knees into your chest. And let's take a little rock side to side. And then pull those knees nice and close. And then let them move away, feet down on the ground. Deep breath in. Exhale, ab prep exercise. We lift up. We bring our arms overhead if that's okay with you. And we exhale, sweep down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, up and over. Sweep it down. Option, if you prefer, after the arms go overhead, you can just bring them straight back down. Couple more here. Good. Last time, come up, arms overhead, bring them out, give your neck a little bit of support by holding your head with the tips of your fingers. Make sure your elbows didn't collapse in. So keep them wide. And then one leg at a time, come into tabletop. Then we're going to extend those legs, reach those arms. Exhale, bend the knees, support the head. So this is a nicer option for double leg stretch. Or you can reach the arms all the way overhead and then tap the shins. Totally up to you. Bring that here. Bring that here. Good. On this last one, I'd like to challenge you to stay lifted. Point your toes a little harder. Reach your arms up by your ears. Lift your chest a little higher. Arms the opposite way. And then we take that break and hug that in. Let those hips rock side to side. Maybe neck goes the opposite way, neck and head. All right. We're going to stack those legs up, tabletop for the 100. So head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. We're going to inhale, pump those arms. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Option to leave your knees where they are or extend them straight up in the air. You could have them out on an angle if you prefer, or you can bend on the inhale and extend on the exhale. So you choose what you want to do with your legs, that's fine. And again, if your neck is bothering you, you can be down here, maybe just extend those legs a little more. And then that last one we bend, we take a break, and then the legs go straight back up. Reach for the back of that right leg. Grab it. We're going to scissor. So we're going to pull it in and switch left leg. Exhale, exhale, switch it up. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale to switch. Right here. Right here. Couple more. All right, hug those knees down and in for a quick moment. We're going to do single leg pull today instead of single leg stretch. So we're going to lift up, we're going to bring that right knee in. We're literally going to pull it in as we stretch through that left leg and inhale, switch, and exhale to reach. You can also do this one with a straight leg, and it looks very much like scissors, except that it's an L shape. Remember, in scissors, we try not to be an L shape. But in single leg pull, if you want to do it with straight legs, you pull that leg in and the other one reaches, and it might be a slight L shape. Get here. Good girl. Ready? All right, just two more. Beautiful. Leave the right leg up in the air, put the left foot on the ground, arms out in a T position, head, neck, and shoulders can relax, maybe nod your head yes. We're going to start by bending the elbows and tapping the fingers to the hips so that you can keep some awareness of what's going on in the hips as you start leg circles. So the right toes point, they draw a circle on the ceiling and then reverse. So don't forget to reverse. You start your circle with an inhale and you finish it with an exhale. The other thing you can do is look at your left knee and try and keep it stable. If you're feeling okay with this, try and make your circles bigger, but without there being movement in your left leg. And then finally, if you want, and you have the flexibility, you can straighten out that left leg, flex through the heel. Beautiful. Bend that right knee, put the foot on the ground. Left leg goes straight up in the air. And again, we start with those small circles and a lot of stability and quietness in those hips. Reversing the circle every time, starting on an inhale, finishing on an exhale. And then again, straighten out that right leg if you want, flex through the heel. And you can make bigger circles if that seems to be okay. Beautiful. Leave the left leg where it is. Right leg is going to join it. Arms out in a T position. Let's start with a little easy tick-tock here, right? So legs just going side to side, pendulum. And then we're going to turn that into our circles, right? And we'll just do the same breathing as we did with single leg circles. You inhale to start your circle, you exhale to finish your circle. Now this becomes corkscrew if you let the opposite hip lift up and you rotate the hips even though the ribs stay facing the ceiling. Beautiful. Take a break. Stack those legs tabletop, arms in a T, and let's let the knees drop to the left for a twist. Right leg up, left leg follows, drop to the right. And then left leg up, right leg follows. Hug those knees in for a moment and then stack them tabletop for toe touches. Hands out to the side, palms up if you want. As always, it can be a single leg toe tap. It could be a single leg heel flex. Keep the abs in, the ribs nice and flat. You can do both legs at the same time if you prefer. You can do both legs with a heel flex. And lastly, you can do both legs, but with the knees a little open and the heels together, so Pilates D. So whichever one you're doing, you have a couple more here. Remember, when you come up with control, nice and slowly. And then next time you come up, you have the option to extend those legs and turn this into double leg lower. So again, keeping the abs flat and the low back consistently the same distance from the ground or literally on the ground. We reach and flex to lift. And again, keep those double leg lowers going. And if that bothers your hamstrings or your low back, if that's too much pull, then go back to that tabletop position, toe touch. Good, and then take a quick break, hug those knees into your chest. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to save some curtains here. All right, so from those knees hugging into your chest, I want you to put the soles of your feet together, bring your hands around your ankles by coming through that diamond shape. And we're gonna roll like a ball, only it's the seal. So you flap your flippers together at the top. Give me that. I believe you're doing it, right? Last time, roll it up, hold here for a moment, and then bring those feet out, lift yourself up, push those hips back, and pull those glutes out from under you so you're sitting nice and tall. Then give you a nice little hinge forward. And then you may be able to start straightening your legs, only, of course, if you can do so without that back rounding. And then come on up and let's sit tall. And we're going to head into our saw. So arms out into a T position. You're going to take your right hand. You're going to twist it towards your left foot. You're going to hinge forward and bring it down. I just took a shower, so it's not that my feet stink. That's not why she moved away. And then press and lift. If you missed it, never mind. So we exhale to twist. We inhale to sit tall. When you twist to one side, notice if the opposite hip lifts up and put it down, right? So inhaling through center, exhale as you reach and twist. Good, keep that going for me, please. And then come on up, sit tall. And now we're gonna bring our feet together for seated twist. So big toes are your checkpoint. You want to keep them together. If they start moving like this, that means my hips are moving. So pull those glutes out from under you, make sure you're sitting tall. Take your front arm, twist towards me once, twice, 3 times. Inhale back to center, twist away from me. And center. Check your toes at center. And center. 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 This time, bend your front elbow, push, 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 center, push, 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 center. One more each way. And relax. Woo, roll those shoulders up, back and down. And let's go to a bent knee position here. All right, so hinge back for your roll down, pull your belly button in. Option to stay here with your hands nice and low. Roll back up, inhale at the top. Exhale, hinge back. Option to open the arms into a T. And roll back up again. And roll back. Option to bring your arms into a V. And roll up and back. Option to bring your arms up by your ears. And back down. So you choose your favorite option for your roll downs. As you come up, look in the camera if you can and make sure you don't have that hump in your upper back, right? So nice and extended in that upper spine, doing your best. Nice, good. All right, and as you come up, you're gonna roll over onto your side facing me. You're gonna lie down. We're gonna stack those knees and hips, but we're doing the rotator, not the clam. So take your hand, create a little mouse house underneath your waist. Try and maintain that throughout. Take your top knee. Option to tap that knee in front and then the heel behind. So try and feel like that. Or you can go knee to knee, toe to toe. Knee to knee, toe to toe. So you just decide which one feels a little better on both your hip and your knee. May feel a little too crampy for your knee if you do the close one, but it's up to you. And you're not just flopping like that, right? It's a really precise movement of rotating through those rotator muscles, right? And you should feel that pretty quickly. Notice when you come in front, if you're collapsing and then opening when you go back, Try and keep that openness throughout. Last two. And last one, bring that leg down, give it a little love. All right, and as we come up, we're coming into a side plank. So we're going to bring that elbow underneath us. You can always fold up that mat if you want a little extra cushioning. Don't forget, you want to push the shoulder back, lift up out of it, engage those lats, and then come on up into your favorite side plank. From there, we're going to arch the hip a little higher. We're going to reach the arm overhead, and we're just holding this with the hip a little higher than usual. If you wanted to, could you take your, oops, sorry. If you wanted to, could you take your top leg, even in this arch, lift it up a little bit, lift it up a little longer, lift it up a little longer. But when you lift it, make sure that your hip doesn't start dipping. Or if you start feeling it in the shoulder, then don't bother with the lift of the leg. All right, and come on down. Let's go to the other side, please. So we roll over, arm underneath your ear, legs are stacked, waistline is lifted. We're going into that rotator exercise, right? So knee in front of the other knee, toe behind, if that's okay. Or you can go toe to toe, knee to knee, toe to toe, knee to knee. As I said, it just depends. This is a smaller little range, and you might feel that a little more in your knee or even in your hamstring. If that's too much, then you just go for that bigger range. Either way, again, you're working those rotators. And relax. Ooh, give that hip some love. And then, of course, we're going to press up to that side plank on this side. So cushion the elbow a little if you like. Find your favorite version of side plank. Bring it up. And then once you're up there, then you give those hips that extra lift. And then you can just hold this with that hip lifted. That's, more than usual. Or you can try and lift the leg, lift it and hold it, lift it and hold it. Or just keep the hip lifted. Totally up to you guys. Stay up there for a few more moments if you don't mind, please. And then gently bring it down. And as you do so, let's roll over onto our abs. We're going to extend the arms and the legs opposite directions. Pull your belly button in to support. Lift one leg at a time. Reach those toes long. Maybe everything's in parallel. All right. Nod your head yes to lengthen out the back of the neck. Scoop that belly button up and in. Stretch your right leg until it lifts up off the ground as straight as you can get it. Same thing with the left arm. And then bring them both down. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg, right arm. Thumb points to the sky. Bring it down. Left arm, right leg. Hold. Bring it down. Right arm, left leg. Hold. Two more like that. Last one of each. Beautiful. So that was kind of our slow motion swimming. Option now to lift all four limbs off the ground. Same thing, slow motion, lift your right hand and your left leg, and then lift your left hand and your right leg, but they don't come all the way back down onto the ground. So you stay elevated as you do these. And then if you want to, the traditional swimming is to flutter. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale and relax. You can press back into your shell stretch, arms in front by your sides. As always, you can make some fists, tuck them, give yourself some space. And then we're going to come to all fours. We're going to round through our cat and inhale through our cow. And then we're going to extend the right arm and the left leg and do the same thing that we just did, only we're never going to go into that flutter kicking. Couple more. Nice, and this is a beautiful stability exercise for the spine, all those little erector spinae that go up your spine. Bring that down, round into your cat, open into your cow, pull your abs in, neutral spine, left leg, right arm, lift them up, hold them there, or if you're okay with it, you tap and lift. And bring it down. Roll through cat, roll through cow. If you have some knee issues and you have a thin mat, I'm going to suggest you give yourself a little extra cushioning and then walk onto that with your knees, but I'm going to let my kneecaps not be on the cushioning, if that makes sense. So my shins are mostly on there. Then walk your knees to touch and glue your hands to your side. So two things are happening for most of us. Most of us are going to end up arching like that. I don't want you to do that. So put your hand on your collarbone, deep breath in, exhale, make it parallel with the wall in front of you. Same thing with your ribs, inhale, exhale, make them parallel. So tuck them in. Then the other thing I'm going to exaggerate, most of us have a little crease in our hips. So to fix that, put your hand on your sacrum and shove those hips forward. But again, did you do that by arching your spine? So now push your hips forward, but pull your ribs down. Hips forward, but ribs down. Hips forward, but ribs down, both at the same time. And then glue your arms to your side. Now, you might already feel some opening across the fronts of the thighs just by doing that much. If you're okay with it, to increase some strength in those thighs, you're going to lean back, but I want you, before you go, it's not a hip lean, it's not a chest lean. Everything is a unit. So keep your abs in, keep your ribs down, hinge back, hold for a moment, and then come back up. So you might not even be able to tell I'm moving, because I'm not going to go very far, but I'm going to keep that tailbone tucked under. I'm going to keep those ribs pulled down. When you go back, you want to hold that for a moment, feel those thighs having to work, and then you come back up. You may feel your hamstrings having to work to hold you also. And let's relax. You're going to come over, you're going to face me. We're going to stretch out those quads just a little bit. So left leg in front, right leg behind you, try and get the knee behind the hip, and then just drop over onto that left elbow. If you drop that right hip, you'll be kind of avoiding the stretch. So roll that forward to help get that stretch. And then that right arm can sweep up and over and maybe open behind you a little bit, get a chest stretch along with it. And then as it comes back down, sweep it and tuck the rib and the hip together to get that deeper stretch. And then we're going to sit up. We're going to bring that right leg in front. Left leg is going to go behind us. And again, trying to get the knee behind the hip and then rotate the hip forward. Then we'll reach up and over and behind, open up, and then sweep it down and close the ribs and the hips closer together. And gently bring that up. All right, let's go ahead and roll our mat back out flat. And we're coming back down onto our spine. We're going to take a brief moment and hug those knees in. Again, just, taking a quick break here, loosening up. All right, remember that pendulum we did earlier? I want you to start with those legs up. Just do a couple little tick-tock pendulums, just to remind yourself what that was. Then bring the knees into tabletop, prop yourself up on your elbows, and from there, extend your arms so you get some support here. So we're going to do the same thing, but the first thing, look at your shoulders, open those suckers up. But when you open them, did your ribs pop? Pull those in. Are your knees away from you? Pull them in so they're right underneath your hips. Overneath. That's a new word. All right. So try it first with those knees bent. Make sure when they come back through center, they're still that close, same distance away. Then you can extend those legs if you want and make this the bigger pendulum. But as always, the challenge is to not let those legs start scooting away and therefore pulling your back out of alignment. So don't let those legs move away from your body. They stay nice and close. So when you come back through center, check them. And then are your shoulders up in your ears again? All right, and then bend the knees, put the feet flat on the ground, bring yourself up, give me a little tricep lift, push those hips back, sit nice and tall. This time, instead of spine stretch, we're gonna do more of a ragdoll. So we're gonna start with spine stretch, but then we're gonna just let the body hinge, relax, and collapse. And while you're out there in this forward position, maybe you can grab your toes and pull them back a little bit and then press your toes against your hands. So getting some stretch in your legs, obviously, but getting some mobility in those little tootsies of yours. Nice, and then we're gonna sit up nice and tall. So now we go back into more of that spine stretch position. You can be hinged or you can sit on up. All right, so we're going back to the roll downs that we did a moment ago, but we're just gonna add some rotation this time. So if you want, ankles and knees are glued together. If you wanna be hip distance apart, that's okay, but you just need to be aware those knees are gonna wanna gap. So another option would be to keep your feet apart, but put your knees together. So maybe even try that. So you're gonna be knock-kneed, shoulders out of your ears, arms open, hinge back a little bit, and let's just rotate side to side. But you may notice that you're keeping some awareness in those thighs, gripping those knees together, so those inner thighs are working a little bit. Shoulder blades stay squeezed together, head in line with your spine, right? So yeah, nice correction. Last time I keep my camera on, I'm just teasing. And then come center and relax, take a little quick break. All right, and then we're rolling all the way down. And we're again gonna put the knees together, but this time for a bridge pose. But this bridge, we're gonna keep the ankles and the big toes and the knees together. We're gonna lift the hips and then again, try and lift them a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. Did your knees wanna gap open? Squeeze them together. Extend that right leg, squeeze it next to the left one. Option to stay here, and you can't really see, but I'm doing an isometric squeeze with my right leg to my left, left to right, right to left, squeezing. Or if you lifted your arms off the ground and kept that going, you're gonna feel that even more in that left glute and hamstring. Can you lift your left hip a little higher? And again, my right leg isn't moving. I'm not going in and out. I'm just squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. So inner thigh awareness, left glute and hamstring. And then right foot down and hips are gonna come down. Take a break, deep breath in. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna lift right back up again. We're gonna squeeze those glutes. We're gonna give that extra lift. Then we're gonna extend that left leg, lift the arms if you can, keep the hips lifted, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Feel that right hamstring and that right glute engaging and squeezing and squeezing. And bend that left knee and come down. We're going to extend that left leg out. We're going to hug that right knee in for a quick little hamstring break. And then put the right foot on the ground, slide it out. Left leg comes in, same thing. Just give it a quick, nice little stretch here. Beautiful. Arms and legs, opposite direction, lengthen that out. and then hands right above you. We're going to keep our toes pointed and our thighs engaged. We're going to pull those abs in, deep breath in. We're going to exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, just the head, neck, and shoulders. Then inhale, option to bring your arms by your ears, so sort of like our ab prep, only we've got our legs long. And then hands above you again, exhale, roll down, deep breath in. Exhale, slide the hands up. On the inhale, lift them up or even overhead, if that's okay with you. On the exhale, everything comes down. Again, deep breath in to prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, bring them down. And last time like that, exhale to lift up. Inhale, arms reach by your ears. Exhale down. So that's the beginning of a roll-up. It's called a partial roll-up. You can stick with that, or you can try full roll-ups with me. Deep breath in, exhale, lift up, and maybe you can keep going, but you got to promise me that your feet are staying on the ground and you're not using momentum. Then you inhale, lift your arms, whether it's down here or up here. You bring them down as you exhale down with control, a vertebra at a time. Inhale. Exhale to roll up part of the way or all the way. Arms lift when you get to the top of wherever you're going. And then you exhale and bring it back down again. Again, everything stays the same. You inhale to prepare. You exhale to lift, whether it's a quarter of the way or halfway or all the way. You inhale when your arms lift. You exhale to bring it down. And then you inhale at the bottom to prepare. You exhale to move. You inhale at the top of your range of motion, and then you exhale down. All right, so now we're going to change it. Now we're going to turn this into neck pull. Neck pull, I don't do it very often, definitely more challenging on Zoom. So you're just going to do what you can. So it seems like a roll up, but it's kind of the opposite. Not the opposite, but very different. Pull your toes back towards your face. Tuck your hips under. That's the first change. Here, my toes were pointed and I was in neutral. Now I have a pelvic tilt, and you want to maintain that pelvic tilt. All right, theoretically, my fingers, and we'll start like this, fingers at the edges of your skull, elbows wide. Deep breath in, exhale, pull your belly button in, staple it, strong pelvic tilt, and then inhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Pause. Make sure your elbows didn't point to the sky, so keep them wide. Now, most of us get a little bit stuck right here. So that's where I want you to bend your knees, grab the backs of your legs, if that's okay with you to roll all the way up. Come all the way up, straighten your legs out, keep your toes flexed, bring your fingers back to the edges of your skull as if you didn't do that. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, spine hinge, right? Hip hinge. Inhale, sit tall. In a minute, we're going to roll back. When we roll back, here are the two things you want to avoid. So I'm already seeing this, right? So our head needs to stay in line. It's not going to be this. And we're not going to, whoa, fall down. So my suggestion is let's start. And when you feel like you're about to lose it, bend the knees and help yourself down. Don't fall. Don't put those elbows in front. Good. And then straighten the legs. And we inhale, we come right back up again. There's no pause. You exhale to maybe bend the knees and help yourself up slowly. You inhale to sit tall as if nothing happened. You exhale to hinge. You inhale to sit tall. You exhale to roll back. Now, if you're thinking, well, how do I modify this because I don't roll all the way up? Then you're going to come up as far as you can. At that point, this is where you pretend like you were grabbing your legs. You exhale, see if you can come a little higher. You bring your arms by your ears again, hold here, exhale for one, inhale, hold, and then you just exhale, roll back down again. So if you're doing the neck pull, let's do one more together. Inhale to lift, exhale to come up however you need to and make it look graceful. Inhale tall, exhale hinge, inhale tall, exhale, roll it on back. Bend your knees, feet flat on the ground. Keep your hands where they are on the outsides of your skull. Float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. So keep your elbows wide. Extend your back leg up in the air and twist toward me. So your back leg is lifted, the one away from the camera. twist towards me, but you got to do me one favor. You didn't roll onto your shoulder, right? So we stay lifted, come back to center, foot down, torso down. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, extend that front leg and twist away from me without rolling onto your shoulder blade. Back to center, everything down. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Here we go. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist, lift, reach. Inhale, center and down. Exhale, lift, twist, reach. Inhale, center and down. Exhale, twist, lift, reach. Inhale, center, down. Exhale, twist, lift, reach and down. You have 4 more, so 8 more movements. And yes, this is the kinder, nicer version. And when you have done that 8th one, then bring your knees into your chest and let's take a little rock. Left foot is going to go down. We're going to bring that right knee over to our right shoulder. Reach down, grab those right toes, press the heel to the sky and pull those right toes back. And then maybe you get some little mobility in the feet, pull them side to side, push and pull, and then bring your hands to the front of the foot and sickle it in. And then sickle it out and sickle it in and sickle it out. And then keep your hands on your toes. See if you might be able to straighten that leg. The farther it is to the side for most of you, you'll be able to hold it. If not, then you're going to move that down. And again, just get some mobility in those feet. Come on back through center. Straighten out the left leg. Bring that right knee into a bent knee position. Right arm to the side. Right knee up towards your left shoulder. Really pull it up rather than just across. Pull it up close. And then let it go across. So a different stretch. Maybe a slightly different twist for you. While you're over there, listen carefully. Tuck your left knee under your right. So deep twist. When you come back to center, put the left foot on the ground. And when you come back, you look like this. And your knees are going to drop to the right. What? Yep. And then use your right elbow to help bring everything back through center. Raise up on those left tippy toes and then bring that left knee in. Hug those knees. Draw some circles. Circle the other way. Extend that left leg up and start to rotate that right leg into a figure 4. But instead of the knee way off to the right, maybe make it a little more right above the hip. And then bend that left knee, put the foot on the ground. Bend the right knee, put the foot on the ground, slide them both out. As always, my plan and hope was that the right side feels better. Right knee bends, left knee comes in, and we're going to bring it way up and over towards that left shoulder, get it nice and close. We're going to reach down, grab those left toes. We're going to create some mobility, pull in those toes back, press them against them. Maybe bring our hands to the front, sickle the foot in and sickle it out. Positions we don't always do. And then pull the toes back and see if you can straighten out that leg, even if it means it goes way over to one side. As you come back through center, bend that left knee, straighten the right leg. Hug the left knee up, up, up and in more than over, and then a little bit over. And then left arm to the side and left knee rotates. While you're over there, that right leg is going to tuck up and under, up and over, yeah, up and under. And then push on back through center, center your foot and drop to the opposite side. And then back through center. We're going to hug those knees up and in, reach for that right shin, maybe draw some circles. And then extend that right leg. Left leg comes across in that figure 4 stretch. And then we'll bend and straighten and extend everything reaching long. And then you're going to meet me, as always, hands and knees. You choose how you get there. Let's undulate our cat-cow. So arms way out in front, inhaling forward cow, exhaling back cat. Beautiful. And then stack everything up. Go ahead and tuck those toes, push back in a down dog position. Feel free to pedal out your heels. And then a wide stance. Walk it back, bend your knees, meet in cat-cow. And bring it up. Nice job. Happy Saturday. All right. Let's do a wee bit more trivia.